What is an identifier? Identifier is a name given to a element to recognize it uniquely in the programming. Now we have a group of students. Let us say 180 students are sitting in this room now. Out of these 180 students, I want to speak to a particular student. How will I call you? Now, out of this group of people, I want to identify this particular person. How do I identify? She has a name. When I call her name, she will be recognized. So she was identified based on her name. What is that name? Identifier name. We are able to identify this girl based on her name. When I say all of you look at the screen, everyone is looking at the board. Now why everyone is looking at the board? Now in this group of elements, you are able to recognize this particular screen uniquely because there is only one screen available here. Are you getting my point? When I say look at the screen, you are only looking at the screens which are available here. It is a unique name given to this. So identifiers are nothing but unique names which are given to the elements to identify them uniquely. When you have a group of elements, if you want to identify, when you have a group of elements, if you want to identify them uniquely, we are supposed to give them a name which is called identifier name. Identifier name. Okay. Similarly, in the programming language also, we have identifiers. What are these identifiers? Identifiers are the names given to a variable or a method or a class or a interface or a package or a constant to recognize them within the program. So what are the identifiers? Identifiers are the names given to a variable or a method or a constant or a class, interface or a package to recognize them uniquely in the programming. Now I wrote 4 classes. So how do you recognize them? I need to give a unique name for every class so that I can call it. I created 4 variables. How do you recognize them? I have to give a unique name. So the unique names what we have given them are called identifiers. Let me give you identifiers. So what are these identifiers? These are the names given to a variable, constant, method, interface, class, package to recognize them. Uniquely in the program. These are the names given to a variable or constant, method, interface, class, package to recognize them uniquely in the programming. Rules for defining. Now when you say you want to give a name, if you want to give a name to your son or a daughter, will you give Ravi underscore 1234 2014? No, right? So when you want to give a name to your son or a daughter, we follow some naming convention. Boss, whenever I am giving a name to a human being, we only use alphabets. It should convey some meaning in the the concerned language. Similarly, when you are defining an identifier also, there are set of rules which we are supposed to follow. What are those rules? Name can contain alphabets, digits, underscore, rules for defining the identifier name. Name can contain alphabets, digits, underscore. Name cannot start with name should not contain no. When you look at this, is it accepted? Is it accepted? Employee details accepted. Age 12 accepted. No. Why? Cannot start with EMP star. No. Why? It will not support special character. Is it accepted? Why? No spaces are allowed. No spaces are allowed. Identifier name. Anything of your choice. The name can be anything of your choice. Identifier names. It can be anything of your choice, but it has to obey the rules. Right. Then let's go with the next one. What is the next one we had? Variables. What is this variables? What is this variable and why we are going to use it? What is a variable and why we are going to use it? Right. Look at the format. Here I have some memories here. We have some memory. In this, some occupied memory, some free spaces here. Now we have some memory in this way. I want to store some name. Now, Where will we store the data? Data will be stored in the memory. Data will be stored in the memory. Now I have a data. What is this, Satish Maila? It is a data. What is Satish Maila? It's a data. Now this is a data what I have. Data is stored in the memory. Data is stored in the memory. Now I am able to store the data. Tomorrow, if I want to retrieve this data, how will you retrieve? I store the data, very good. Tomorrow, I want to refer to the data. How will you refer to that? Do you know where is the data stored? Now it is a memory. I cannot open my RAM and see where is the data. Now how will you refer to the data? Now how do you identify your data? How will you refer your data? I got a data. I stored my data in the memory. But how will you refer to the data? So what I'm giving? To this memory location, I gave a name. To the memory location, I gave a name. To this, I gave a name called salary. To this, I gave age. So what was this? In the memory location, there is a name given to the memory location. This memory location is referred with the. This memory location is referred with the salary. This memory location referred with age. So what is the name? Name is a, what is this? It is a name given to a memory location. Within the memory, what I can do? I can store the data. Within the memory, what I can do? I can store the data, perform the changes whenever I want. I can store the data. Now, I can store the data as per my requirement. I can store the data as per my requirement. If I want to refer to this data, whatever the name we gave to that memory, I am going to use that memory. So what is a variable? Variable is the name given to a memory location where we are storing your data and performing the changes whenever you need. What is the value? Value is Satish Maila. Where is this value? Value is stored to the location of the memory. In the location of the memory, whatever the location is referred by my name, whatever the location is referred by my variable name, in that location we are storing the data. Are you clear about this? What is a variable? It is a name given to a memory location. It is a name given to a memory location where we are storing the data, performing the changes whenever we need. Performing the changes whenever we need. I hope you are clear. Variable which varies. Value will not be a fixed. Keep on changing. Constant. Value is fixed. 10. Always 10. Now name. Today I may store Ravi. Tomorrow I may store Kiran. Day after tomorrow Prasad. Salary. Right now I am storing 10,000. Tomorrow 15,000 or 13,000. Variable whose value keeps changing. Right, boss? So what is a variable? It is a name given to a memory location where we can store the data and where we can store the data and perform the manipulations based on business requirement. Variable is a name given to a memory location where we can store the data and perform the manipulation based on the business requirement. Okay. Now, we have some issue here. I gave a variable. Give me some names for the variable. Give me some names for this. Give me some names. Like we got Right, boss. What is the drawback of this variable? It is given like a name given to a memory location. What is the size of the memory? It can hold the data. What type of the data can be stored? Perform the changes. What is the maximum value we can store? So the definition of the variable is not answering three questions. First question is, it told name given to a memory location. How much amount of memory is that? We are not sure. Can store the data. What type of data can be stored? Not sure. Can manipulate the data as per the requirement. What is the maximum value? What is the minimum value? So the definition of the variable is not answering these three questions. To answer these three questions, we are going for a concept called data type. What is the concept we had? Data type. What is the data type? It will specify how much amount of memory is given to a variable, what type of data is stored to a variable, what is the range of the data, data type. It will specify how much amount of memory is given to a variable, what type of data is stored in the variable, what is the range of the data that can be stored in the variable. Now, in the Salesforce, in the Apex programming, we have the following data types. Primitive data types, this type of primitive data types are collections, list, S object, generic objects, refer to standard or custom objects. Objects created for Salesforce defined objects, user defined data. These are the different type of data types. What primitive data types, collections, S objects, objects created for Salesforce defined Apex classes, objects created for user defined Apex classes. Right. What about coding? Able to hear me? Online people, are you
Yes,
able
yes,
to?
we can hear
Yes,
you.
yes, Satish, you can hear me.
Fine. So let us go to the next. Let us start with the primitive data types. So what are these primitive data types and why we are going to use? So let us start our discussion with the primitive data types. Primitive data types. First one. What is this blob? In case if you want to store a document, I have a notepad. Whatever the notes I am typing, this I want to upload to the Salesforce. Now the size of this document is more. When you take an image, when you take an audio file, video file, or a text, the size of the data is more. I cannot store it in the exact format. So what I will do? I will convert this in the form of binary format and store it. So blob, binary format. So if you want to upload, if you want to store any document, file, image, audio, video, we need to convert the data in the form of binary and save it. So what is the blob? It is a collection of binary data under one name. One entity name. This is used documents, images, encrypted data. Default value is none. If you don't mention anything, by default it is none. Blob, binary data. Next, when you say boolean, what will be there in this? It can hold true or default value is, default value means if you don't give any value, default value is none. Default value is none. Then date. What is the purpose of date? You can refer to instance of a day. Today's date refer as system dot date. If you want to refer to a particular day, year, month, day, date dot new instance of year, month, date. Instance of 2018 July 21st. So if you want to create any date, what we do? Date dot new instance of date dot new instance of year, month, day. Date dot new instance of year, month, day. Date dot new instance of year, month, day. Date time. It can refer to instance of a date and time. Date time. It can refer to instance of a date and time. Date time. It can refer to instance of a date and time. Current time is referred as system dot now. Date time instance of date dot a new instance of year, month, day, hours, minutes, seconds. Date time. Date along with the time. Date along with the time. If you want to create any instance of date along with the time, we use this. Then we have time. Instance of, it can refer to instance of a time. It can refer to instance of a time. Then we had time dot new instance of. Time dot new instance of. Time dot new instance of. Hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. So we have time, date, date time, time. Next we had integer. Integer. What is this integer? It is a 32-bit number. It is used to store. So what is the default value for above 3 boss? I told you, for all the data types, default value is, no need to mention, By default, it is considered as it is used to store numerical value. It is used to store numerical value without decimal point. It is a 32-bit number. It is used to store numerical value without decimal point. It is used to store numerical value without decimal point. Now, what is the maximum value? Look at the point. If I have 3 bits, so what is the maximum value I can store? Whenever we are taking a numerical value, last position is always meant for sign of the number, plus or minus. So if I have 3 bits, 1 bit will be used for sign of the number. So how many bits are left out? 2 bits. So what is the maximum value we can store? 2 to the power of 2 minus 1. This is 2 to the power of 1 is 2 plus 1. So what is the maximum value we can store? 2 to the power of 2 minus 1. If there are 3 bits, 1 bit will be used for sign, remaining 2 bits will be used for data. So 2 to the power of 2 minus 1 is the maximum value. Now what is integer? 32 bit. In the 32 bit, what happened? 1 bit is used for the sign of the number. How many bits are left out? 31 bits. So what is the maximum value? 2 to the power of 31 minus. This is the maximum value what we can store. As it's 32 bit, 2 to the power of 31 minus 1 is the maximum value we can store. Default value is long. What is this long? It is a 64-bit number. It is used to store numerical value without decimal point. It can store. What is the maximum value it can store? 2 to the power of 63 minus 1 bit is used for the set. So if you want to store the data more than 2 to the power of 31, I will go with the long. If you want to store the data whose size is more than 2 to the power of 31, I will go for long. Both are used for what? Storing the integer values only, numerical values without decimal point. But only the thing is, range of the value is changing. This one. It is a 32-bit used to the 32-bit number. It is used to store numerical value with a decimal point. Now we had an issue here. What is integer? 32-bit number. What is a long? 64-bit number. Decimal can store larger value than long. Integer is how much? Let us see. Try to get my point. Integer is 32 bits. Out of this, 1 bit is used for. So how many bits are used for giving the data? 31 bits. Purely they are used for what? Now when you say integer dot, your value is 10,000.1, where 10,000 is when you take an integer, all the 31 bits are used for representing what? Integer value. But when you go for decimal, decimal is also what? 32 bit number. Decimal is also 32 bit. But in the decimal, what happened? 1 bit is lost for sign of the number. Like integer, here also 1 bit is lost for sign of the number. In the remaining 31 bits, I have to give integer value as well as decimal value. Now, which has to occupy more value now? Decimal, see, 10,000.21, 10,001, which is greater, boss? 10,001, 10,000.00000099. What is the biggest value? 1, right? Now, in this, if I am storing this, let us see, 10,999. Now, this is called integer. So, this value will be represented with 31. In this, what should happen? This value should be represented with these 31 bits, and also when you say integer, only integer part. Only to give the integer part, we have 31 bits. When you go to decimal, what is happening? When you go to decimal, for integer plus decimal, for integer part and decimal part, both should be represented within 31 bits. Now, logically, which should occupy more data? Integer should give higher value, because complete integer value is given with 31 bits. 31 bits are used to represent integer value, whereas here 31 bits are used to represent integer value plus decimal value. So obviously it has to occupy, it has to give lesser value. But when you go to this, when you go to long, what is the size of the long? Long is 60. Long is what? 60. Now, which has to occupy more data? Decimal or long? Which has to occupy more data? Decimal or long? Long, right? But practically, what happened here? Decimal can store more value than long. How it is possible? Because if you people have done your engineering properly, okay, rather than writing your exams, there is a concept called a Mantissa exponent concept. Do you remember? All branches have this topic, right? What is it? Sign of the number, exponent, Mantissa. No? Everybody done BTech, right? From JNT only, na? So, now, the data will be represented in the form of Mantissa exponent format in decimal. Mantissa exponent format means when you have 31 bits, 1 bit is used for sign of the number, 8 bit is used for representing the decimal, and 20, how many bits are left out? 23, right? 23 bits are used for representing the Mantissa. So what is the general format? Mantissa to the power of exponent. Now it will be represented in the form of what? 23 to the power of 8. That is how the data is coming as larger value. So integer is 32 bit, decimal is also 32 bit, but decimal will occupy larger value than integer. When you take an integer, only without decimal point it is taking. So it was supposed to occupy huge amount of data. But when you go to decimal, it is having integer and decimal together. But still, what is the highest value we can store? In decimal, we can store the highest value. The reason is internally they are stored in the format of Mantissa exponent format. That is the reason decimal and double will occupy larger value than long. Long is 64 bit. Decimal is 32 bit only. But still, decimal can store higher value than long because of which concept? Mantissa exponent concept. Okay. This is the internal concept why the decimal was able to occupy larger data than your regular decimal. Because here I told it is a 32 bit, it is also 32 bit, but decimal will be storing larger value. Why? Because of this concept. Are you clear about this format? So what is the default value? 9 double. What is a double? It is a 64 bit used to store numerical value. Default value is, so we have integer long decimal double. Integer long decimal double. ID. What is ID? It will store any valid 18 character ID, any character record ID generated by Salesforce. In the table, if you create a record, Salesforce will give you 18 character ID. That ID can be stored here. Any valid 18 character ID can be stored in this. String. What is string? Collection of characters surrounded by single quote. Collection of characters surrounded by single quotes. Last one, object. Now, when you are not sure what type of data we are going to get, then we are going to take this object. If you know it is an integer, if you know it is a numerical value, I will take integer or a decimal. If you know it is a true or false, I will take boolean. If you know it is a binary data, block. If you don't know what format of data they are going to give, I will take object. Object can store any type of data that is supported in the Salesforce. Object can store any type of data that is supported in the Salesforce. So what we have? Object. Supported in the Salesforce. This is how we are clear. I hope you are clear. So these are the data types. All the variable names should be in. All the variables, all the variable names should be stored, should be given in the form of All the variable names should be given in the form of lower camel naming convention. What is the lower camel naming convention? First word, first letter should be first word, first letter should be small. Remaining words, first letter should be capital. We told EMP name, the details. The first word, first letter should be small. Remaining words, first letter should be capital. First word, first letter should be small. Remaining words, first letter should be capital. Right, boss? Done? Yes. So timestamp or time. Complete timestamp, okay, or only time. Now let us see. And we have some predefined functions to get the data. So data type is not there, but we have functions to support that. Okay. Now let us go to the next. Let us create variables. How do you create the variables? Syntax of variable. What is that? Data type, variable name, data type, variable name. Sometimes you may also assign the value directly. Data type, variable name. If you want to assign the value, you can also give equal to val. If I put in a rectangle braces, it's an option. Whatever I'm putting in the rectangle braces is an option. Okay. Now let us see. I want to collect some data about a student, boss. I want to collect some data about a student. What is the data? Name. I want to collect the name, then age, fee, date of birth, city, phone number. Now tell me, right, when you want to collect the data, always we have to say, right, when you want to collect the data, what is the data type of this? When I say name, what is the data type? Now you cannot decide the data type like that. You are supposed to see the sample data, what we are going to get. I told name is like Satish. If it is a combination of alphabets, if the data has alphabet, it is going to be what? I have given a variable name called age. So what I will take? Now, if I give age as 10, 20, then it become what? 60. Now when you say age, you cannot say it is an integer. How you want to store? What is the sample data? If I want to store like 10, 20, then I will go for. Now in which format you want to take? Everybody will not have the same format. Now I told fee. Now what is the format? Somebody may give 10,000 like this, or somebody may give If you are taking like this, it will become decimal or like a integer. If you are taking like this, it is a string. How you want to take? Then I will take was this one. Date of birth. I want to give 10 to. How we are going to take? Date, city. See what is alphabet. Alphabets are there, or any special symbols are there. By default, it is now. What is this? Is it a numerical value? No, we have some special symbol here, right? We have special symbol here. It is not a numerical value. We have some special symbols like braces. So it has to be what? So your data type should be decided based on the data. First know what is the data you are going to take. Then define data type. You are supposed to collect some sample data. Accordingly, you have to decide what is the data type. Are you clear? Now, I want to collect some bank details. Name of the bank. Always ensure that your variable name is relevant to the data what you are storing. Don't create A, B, C like this variables. So always your variable should represent the format of the data what you are storing. Now I want to know college name, bank name, ICICI, account number or branch code, annual revenue. Now create the data types. Create the data types for this. No oral, right on the book. People are always happy to watch. Create. So what we are taking was name ICICI or string. Then we had a branch code string. Why? It has combination of other than numerical value, anything will become your string. Annual revenue. Sorry. Now I want to take a long. It is a longer value. City. Oh, now it is going to be what? Previously, phone number was a string because I have different format. Right? So identify the data, accordingly create the data type. Data type is not decided based on this. Data type is decided based on sample data. Now, collect some data about product. Name of the product code, quantity, price, total. Create the data type and the variables. Create the data type and the variables. So here we need to understand one point. All the currency values by default we are going to take them as decimal. All the currency values by default we are going to take them as a decimal. All the currency values by default we are going to take them as a decimals. All the currency values by default we are going to take them as a decimals. Then string name, lower camel, no spaces. Price, quantity is integer, 10 or 15 decimal. This code. So this is how identify the data, then create the corresponding data types. Identify the data, then create the corresponding data types. So this is how we created data type with the corresponding data type with the corresponding variable name. So we had a data type and the corresponding variable name. And what is the naming convention? Lower camel. Variable name should be always given as lower camel. Variable name should be always given as lower camel. Are you clear? Am I clear with this? Clear for everyone? Right. Now, let us go to the next one. So, look at our context here. System dot C2. Okay. Let us see. Floor basis. What is the purpose of floor basis? When I give floor basis, it's called scope. Now look at this. If, what is this called? Scope of If I give like this, what is this called? Scope of if. Whatever we wrote in the flower braces is called scope of if. I am writing here for, what was this called? Scope of wherever we give a flower bracket, it is a scope. Name for the scope is if. Name for the scope is for. Scope of example. Now, wherever we give flower braces, it is called a scope. Scope of if, scope of for, scope of while, scope of class, scope of interface. Scope of interface example. Wide show. What is this? Scope of. So wherever I am giving a flower braces, it is a scope. That may be a class, that may be interface, that may be a method, that may be a method, that may be a constructor, that may be a for, that may be if, that may be a while. Flower braces are there, it is called scope. Wherever we give flower braces, it's called scope. Wherever we define the flower braces, it's called scope. Are you clear? Are you clear about this, sir? Flower bracket. Wherever we write flower braces, it's a scope. Now, how do you refer to these flower braces? With the name. What is the name? Example. What is the name? Example. What is the name? Show. What is the name? While. What is the name? For. So, whatever the name we are giving, with that name we are going to call the scope. Scope. Flower braces is a scope. That scope is referred with the name what we mentioned. Are you clear? Okay. Now what we have done, we created a data types, we created a variables, we created a data types, we created a variables. Now look at the format. Here we have local variables and global. What is the concept of local variable? What is the concept of global variable? Concept of local variables, concept of global variables. Let us understand the concept. Aruni, mute your mic. Okay. Now look at this. So local, global, the common example I give. So right, anybody know this Divya boss? No idea. Okay, she was my classmate in engineering. No, nobody knows. Okay. Now, if you ask who is Divya, all my batchmates will say, all my college mates will say, she is the most beautiful girl in my college days. Now, if you come out of my college and say Divya, nobody will recognize. Right? Now, when I told Divya, you are unable to recognize, but she was not known to any one of you. She was known to only my batch in my college. Now, if you go to CVIT in 2005 batch, the people ask you, okay, who is Divya? They will tell you. All my juniors and seniors knows them. Now, she was known only within that college. Outside the college, she was not known. So, what is it? She was local to the college. Now, do you know Deepika Padukone was? Right? Everybody knows? Right? Why? My college mates knows, and you also know, because she was known within my college and outside the college. Now she is what? Global. Now anything that you define within the flower bracket, it is local. Anything that you define outside the flower bracket, it is global. Global will be used within the local and outside the local, whereas the local can be used only within the scope. Anything defined within the scope is called local. Anything defined outside the scope is called global. Now, right, same one more example. Do you know, any one of you know this Srinivas Nair boss? He is my colony president. So he is the president for tower number 2 in my colony. Now, does anybody know? No. My colony people know, because this guy every week comes collect fund, saying that he will conduct some event, but never conducts. So this who was this? Srinivas Nair. He was known only within my colony. Only is known within my colony. Outside the colony, nobody recognized. So he was a local to only that colony. Now, if this fellow go out and say, I am Srinivas Nair, nobody will recognize. Nobody know that a person called Srinivas Nair exists. But within the colony, his influence will work. His influence will work within the colony, because all the security guards and the servicemen, all those people are going to listen to this fellow's words. If we go out and say, once we go to another community and say, I am Srinivas Nair, the watchman will kick him, because his influence will work only within that gated community. If you go out of my community and say that, boss, I am Srinivas Nair, nobody will recognize. So this person influence is working only within the scope. So local variables influence will be running only within the scope. Outside the scope it will not run. Now if KCR is coming, then what happened? His influence will work within my community, outside my community, within other state also. Are you getting my point? Now who is this KCR? Is a global to my, okay, global to my community. Is a global to my community. Are you getting my point? Now my Srinivas Nair goes on to say, nobody will recognize, right? Now because this year he is the president for my, okay, my colony, tomorrow somebody else will be a president. Are you getting? His influence is going to work only within the scope in which it is defined. So if you define outside the scope, if I define anything outside the scope, it can be used outside as well as inside. Now this is called as what? KCR is a global. Are you getting my point here? Local, global. Now local variables cannot be used. Local variables cannot be used outside the scope. Global variables can be used within the scope, outside the scope. I hope you got the point. Okay. Now let me define. Let us quickly look into some examples here. Don't mind what is the code I'm writing. Our intention is to know only scope and local. Now what is the code I'm writing? You're not worried. Only look at local and global. That's all. Okay. Now look at this. For example, what are the local members? Example. In the example, what we have? Age. And now, what was this? We had a flower bracket here. This is a flower bracket. I opened a flower bracket. I closed a flower bracket. So whatever I wrote within the flower bracket, they will not be shown to outside. Whatever I wrote within the flower bracket, they will not be known to outside. So look at this. Now tell me, for example, local or aged? Now for show, what are local? Branch and if you define the variable, string branch is defining. Okay. What is the global? What is the global? Age. Now let us go to call. If I take a call, what is the local? Salary. If we take global, age. If we go to display, now tell me what is allowed in the display. Display. Can I use a name in the display? Can I use a name in the display? Yes. Why? Name is a global. Okay. Allowed. Can I use age? Can I use branch? Branch. No. Why? Branch can be used only within the show. Can I use city? No. Why? Local variables cannot be used in others. Local can be used only within the scope. Outside the scope we cannot use. So if you define within the show, they can be used only within the show. Outside the show we cannot use. Branch, city. Can I use it? Phone number? Because you defined within the display. Are you getting my point? So anything you define within the local, that can be used only within the local. If I define anything within the scope, they can be used only within the scope. We cannot use outside the scope. So this is the context here. People have got this concept. Let me take one more example. Let me give one more example. Now look at the point. Listen to the context carefully. I want to use product name, price, discount date, manufacture date. Now these are the members I have. Now my requirement is within the show I have to use product name. Within the show I was supposed to use product name, this is the data what I was supposed to use within the show. Now within the call I was supposed to use now within the display I was supposed to use this data. Now tell me how you define. Now if the same data need to be used in multiple scopes, what should I do? Should I define them within the scope? If you want the same data to be used in multiple scope, you should not define within the scope. So how you define it now? Let us see. I will defining them like public string Which data I have to use? Now in every method, what is the data? Product name, price, quantity. Product name, price, quantity. Product name, price, quantity. So whatever the common data in all the three, what is the data we want to use? Name, price, quantity. Name, price, quantity. Name, price. The same data should be available to multiple people. So I defined as, now total should be available to whom? Only. Thank you. Decimal. Next, in the call, what do you want? Date. In display, what do you want? Right, boss? Now tell me, in the show, what I can use? In the show, I can use product name, price, and why? Because they are global variables. Global variables can be used within the local scope. Here also, what I can use? Product name, price, quantity. Right. Here also I can use the same. Are you getting my point? If you want some data to be used by multiple scopes, you will define them outside the scope. If you want a data to be used only by the scope, you define it only within the scope. Are you getting my point? Clear? Clear, boss? So what is a local variable? Variable defined within the scope is called local. Variable defined outside the scope is called global. Now when you are defining a variable, you should understand where we want to use this. Do you want this to be used in multiple scopes or only within the scope? Accordingly we define. We'll see a few more examples in a session. Right. I hope you are good with these examples.
Sir, I have a